While most people know who Dean Martin is, not everyone knows he died on Christmas Day in 1995. Because of this unlikely death day, the generally jolly holiday has gone on to take a somewhat different meaning for the entertainer's family, including his daughter, Deana Martin. Although Deana certainly doesn't spend every Christmas brooding over the loss of her father, she does enjoy taking some time out each holiday to remember her father and all the great memories they had together. So without further ado, here's how Dean Martin's daughter Deana spends the holidays. To truly understand the impact of the late entertainer, let's first take a look at the man himself. Born Dino Paul Cressetti on June 7, 1917, Dean Martin would go on to become one of America's most legendary entertainers. That included his work on the small screen, the big screen, on the stage, and through his music. As an actor, singer, and comedian, there were few branches of entertainment Dean Martin wasn't comfortable and perfectly willing to step into. It was perhaps this affability that gave him his distinctive charm and made him stand out from other versatile entertainers of the time. He was known for having what many saw as effortless charisma, and many young men of the time would model themselves after the entertainer. Dean Martin rose to fame in conjunction with another incredibly popular and legendary entertainer, comedian Jerry Lewis. Together, they comprised a comedic duo billed as Martin and Lewis, making the rounds in nightclubs, radio, TV, and the big screen in a number of fondly remembered feature films. The duo rose to prominence in 1946 and saw a decade of incredible success that would eventually come to an end 10 years later in 1956. Their split was the result of a fairly bitter fight involving creative differences. Dean felt his co-star was exerting a little too much control over their creative output. Dean and Jerry didn't quite see eye to eye on a lot of things, despite their close bond, and Dean was determined to make a name for himself his way. After the split, he went on to pursue his own solo career as both an actor and performer. Arguably, his best days were ahead of him. One notable thing about Dean Martin was that he could never be pinned down to just one specific talent. After his success in comedic films and skits with his partner Jerry Lewis, he went on to become even more notable for his career as a recording artist. Given his background in comedy, one might assume he made a name for himself with novelty albums and comedy records, but that wasn't the case. Martin ended up becoming a contemporary of Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra, rivaling them in both appeal and talent, and joining them in the famous Rat Pack. He did some notable tenures in Las Vegas, singing both contemporary songs and classic standards. Seemingly, there was little the versatile entertainer couldn't do, and it looked like he was destined for legendary success. In 1965, his status was solidified as he came to be the host of his own TV variety show, The Dean Martin Show. If there was any doubt about his crossover appeal, this TV program would put those to an end. Already a household name, Dean became an all-out legend as he showcased both his singing and comedic talents to the eager audience, emphasizing his laid-back and relaxed demeanor. Less than a decade later, he would go on to star in the popular Dean Martin Celebrity Roast, where he played roastmaster to several noteworthy celebrities. Perhaps the most amazing thing about Dean Martin, besides his incredibly calm and cool demeanor, was the gigantic span of his talents. Lighting up the stage with both his beautiful singing voice and charming comedic persona, Martin took over the nation and the world, rising from nightclubs to the global stage over the span of nearly 100 television and film productions, and popularizing many songs that are still remembered to this day. Martin certainly had an exceedingly large impact on popular culture, but he perhaps had an even larger impact on his family, including his beloved daughter, Deana Martin, both before and after his death. Hey, if you're enjoying this story so far, hit the like button, and be sure to subscribe to Factsverse for more. Although Dean Martin was known as the King of Cool by his audience, and was largely seen as somewhat of a womanizer and party animal, he was nothing but a family man to his family, including his daughter Deana. Deana Martin minces no words when praising her late father, and is likely one of the people most affected by his death. Whereas most people view Christmas Day as a celebration of their faith, or simply a day to share presents and company with those they love the most, Deana views it as a day that's first and foremost meant to commemorate her father. That's why the late entertainer's daughter spends every holiday listening to her father's music, and remembering all the great times she had with him. While many might assume the holidays would be an excuse for her to brood, she has a more proactive stance on things and chooses to view the holidays as a time to celebrate the life of her late father, including all the amazing things he accomplished and their memories together. It's interesting the late entertainer ended up passing away on Christmas Day, as many of his hit songs were intrinsically tied to the holiday. Dean Martin certainly wasn't averse to Christmas music and loved singing about the holiday almost as much as the audience loved hearing him sing about it. Dean put his own spin on every holiday classic you could think of, including what's arguably the most popular rendition of Baby It's Cold Outside. Deana Martin is certainly grateful for all the recorded material her father left behind. It allows her to feel her late father is still with her all the time. She can put on one of her father's old records or movies and feel his presence as if he was still there. It might be a welcome surprise for many of Dean Martin's fans to learn just what a family man he was. Despite being labeled the king of cool by the media and his fan base, he was always much more interested in doing right by his family than he was in doing right by the audience. He was such a professional, though, that he was somehow able to juggle both halves of his life effortlessly, and the audience never realized he cared less about them than his beloved family. According to Deana, Dean wasn't the party animal everyone thought he was. She claims he would go on the road, but not a lot, because he loved to be home with his family most of all. No matter what was going on in his career, Deana and her family could always rely on their patriarch to come home on time and spend time with them. She fondly recalls how her father liked to play games and cards with her and the family, and how they'd all have dinner together. She was also no stranger to her father's winning charisma, saying that when he was at home, he was funny and sweet and always had a smile on his face. Christmas was a big deal in the Martin household, and the entertainer would always put extra effort into making sure every holiday he spent with his family was worthy of their memories. They'd decorate the house together, stringing up lights on the tree and singing carols. Dean Martin may have enjoyed singing for an audience, but he enjoyed singing alone with his family even more. It's these memories that stick with Deana as she puts on her father's old records during the holidays. And, despite the fact that he's now passed on, she can smile and feel his warm presence with her. Deana's no amateur herself, having performed on stage with her father while he was alive. The 72-year-old still carries on the tradition of singing to this day, and has recently gone out in public and performed some of her father's most popular tunes, in commemoration of the 25th anniversary of his passing. Dean Martin may no longer be alive in the traditional sense, but he's certainly alive in the hearts of the many people he touched, both as an entertainer and a father. Dean Martin and Christmas almost go hand in hand, and the fact he ended up passing away on the holiday is fairly incredible. His Christmas songs touched the hearts of all who heard them, and they continue to do so today. Leave us a comment down below to share your favorite Dean Martin Christmas song, or other favorite Dean Martin moment. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to Factsverse. Hit the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content.